The Home Office flagship migrant centres are not suitable for thousands of asylum seekers. Are we really surprised by this? We're going to read into this more from iNews, you guys. Let's go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is REGANELITE here with an article from iNews with the headline that the Home Office's flagship migrant centres are not suitable for thousands of asylum seekers. Asylum seekers who say they are children wrongly categorised as adults will no longer be moved to the Bibby Stockholm barge, RAF Wethersfield or RAF Scampton. So there's obviously a lot of controversy around immigration, migration and whatnot, and obviously there's been people coming across my channel who are vehemently against any and all kinds of immigration. Now there is this perception that we have on some people who are claiming to be children when they're in fact adults, or people who are actual children are being categorized as adults. Now you don't know, and I don't know for certain what their age is when lots of people come across these boats, or however they come here to the UK. They don't come with, very rarely do they come across with documentation of where they've originally come from. They have to make a judgment on based on their appearance and how they react. They have to make a judgment call on what their age actually is, and they choose whether to believe that person or not. It's not an easy decision. It's not. They don't always get it right. No, but they do have to make that judgment call. You have to remember that there are some children who have been wrongly categorized as adults, and that is extremely dangerous for them, being put in a situation where they could be put in a room or something with someone who may not have mental issues perhaps as well. There's lots of reasons why they need to be extremely careful when it comes to dealing with certain asylum seekers. Every single life matters, guys, and I understand that some people really just don't want nothing to do with them. But this is also a fault of the Home Office and the current Conservative government, because they chose to cut back on the amount of the backlogs that we have, the amount of migrants that we have coming into this country. They have not done anywhere near enough to help clear the backlogs, processing as many applicants as possible. They haven't been doing that anywhere near those levels. You'd like to think here in 2024 that they will be processing a lot more, but I don't hold much faith here to that, if I'm honest. But that still doesn't change the fact that all these people, regardless whether they're adults or children, man or woman, these are all human beings with emotions and feelings. Some of them have gone through real life trauma. Some of them have made treacherous journeys to come to the UK to contribute to our country, and they want to contribute. There is a very, very small percentage of them, yes, who don't come here with good intentions. There are those out there. There is a very small percentage of that. No one's going to deny that. However, the vast majority come here with good intentions, and we should be careful of how we speak and treat about them. And by the way, that's not to say that we don't care about what's happening to our own people. It's about the humanity in all this. So the Home Office is unable to send thousands of asylum seekers to its new flagship accommodation site, despite pledging to reduce the pressure on hotels, internal documents reveal. Thousands of asylum seekers who say they are children wrongly categorised as adults will no longer be moved to the Bibby Stockholm barge, the RAF Wethersfield or RAF Scampton, under rules designed to relieve pressure on local councils. Asylum seekers confirmed to be children after professional investigations are handed to local authorities, who have responsibility for their care as with any other unaccompanied children. Adults asylum seekers are the responsibility of the Home Office. So it appears here that the Home Office are looking to take anyone who's been deemed children, or either looks to it, or they've categorised as children. They're looking to take the responsibility out of their hands and put it on others, while they take the ones who are considered adults and put them on the Bibby Stockholm barge, Wakefield and Scampton, as opposed to getting them out of the hotels. That's what appears to be the plan here. Councils argue that sending individuals with ongoing age disputes to the new accommodation sites risks a handful of local authorities whose resources are already overstretched, bearing a heavier burden if they are confirmed to be children. Data shows that this outcome is in more than half the cases. Between the start of 2020 and September 2023, there were 9,681 age dispute cases in total, according to the Home Office data. In 2022, 4,678 new age dispute cases were raised out of 74,751 asylum applications made. A further 1,614 were made in the first 3 quarters of 2023, out of 75,340 asylum applications during the same period. Under the rules, none of these asylum seekers would be able to be moved to the Bibby Stockholm barge or the former RAF bases Wethersfield and Scampton. These three sites are among the Home Office key policies to deal with the pressures of asylum accommodation, with hotels costing around £8 million a day. In a letter to Dorset Council, the local authority for Portland, where Bibby Stockholm barge is based, the Home Office confirmed its accommodation allocation processes would be flexed specifically for sites including Scampton, Wakefield and Portland. Just wanted to add as well, one other caveat, guys. There was a point where Labour had, I don't know if Labour was still committed to this pledge, but at one point Labour did state that they were going to get rid of the barge because of the amount of money it costs, and it does cost a lot of money to use of that barge. So I wonder if Labour are still going to keep to that. I wonder how Labour are going to respond to some of these centres and places that we're putting some of these asylum seekers in when they come into power. That is definitely a question to be asked. According to the data dated July 2023 seen by the Eye, the Home Office said that this was in a bid to reduce the volume of age dispute cases arising at these sites, after local authorities expressed concerns about age disputes and the risks that adults on sites may claim to be minors. It added the business rules means that anyone who has already claimed to be a minor during arrival screening at Western Jetfoil, a migrant processing centre in Dover, will be excluded from allocation into the large adult accommodation site, given our experience that these individuals are highly likely to maintain their claim to be a minor during their stay. Local government associations have repeatedly warned that age dispute cases are a challenge for councils, both from a child protection specialist to ensure that children are appropriately safeguarded, either as children or ensuring that adults are not placed with children inappropriately, and from a legal perspective. Refugee charities are opposed to the use of both the Bibby Stockholm and RAF Wethersfield for asylum seekers generally. Tim Naylor-Hilton, Chief Executive of Refugee Action, said the sites can have a catastrophic effect on people seeking asylum and must be closed immediately and completely. While I understand that point and wanting to get rid of these and shut these down in what is considered unsafe environments by the idea from the charities, I can't see that happening right now, considering the way the Conservative government are handling this. Again, like I say, I'll be interested to see how Labour, when they come into power, how they will deal with this. But I understand the frustration without a doubt. The winners in this race to the bottom are the private companies who are making hundreds of millions of pounds in profit from running the asylum accommodation system. This is dangerous. I don't like the fact that these private companies are running them. But then again, the government won't run anything by themselves, will they? The government must house people in our communities and fund local authorities to run asylum housing, so every penny of this money is spent protecting refugees and strengthening services we all rely on. Care for Callous has launched a legal challenge against the use of Wakefield, claiming that hunger strikes, self-harm and suicide attempts have taken place there, with one group of men allegedly setting themselves on fire. I've covered this in a story quite a while ago. The government is facing accusations that it has been misleading in claiming that it has cleared the backlog of asylum claims made prior to June 2022 by counting 4,500 complex cases which require further assessment, like age dispute cases, as resolved. The Home Office have said, we remain committed to the relocation of asylum seekers into large accommodation sites, working towards reaching full capacity while prioritising their welfare and integration. Age assessments are vital. Children are at risk when asylum seeking adults claim to be children, or children are inadvertently treated as adults. When there is doubt about an individual's claim to be a child, we will be referred to social services for further assessment and treated as a child during this time. So this last bit here, guys, this is about the age dispute, as I was talking about at the start of my initial thoughts. So what is age dispute, guys? So this is when someone who says they are a child arrives in the UK and claims asylum. Border Force officers are able to reclassify them as an adult and give them a new date of birth if they disagree with their age given. They will then be entered into the adult asylum system. Officials have been accused of changing the dates of birth based solely on the initial virtual assessment, often lasting just minutes, shortly after the asylum seekers arrive on UK shores, despite the fact that some have ID documents showing that they are under 18. Now, if they have the IDs on them, obviously it's better. Obviously, we don't know for 100% for certain how accurate that ID is, so there's obviously that argument that people can make, rightly or wrongly. So I think that should be taken into account whenever they have any ID on them. The asylum seeker can appeal against the age given to them by Border Force. This is known as raising an age dispute, with professionals undertaking extensive interviews and assessing evidence to determine their real age. And our investigation last year found that lone children seeking asylum in the UK were being wrongly assessed as adults and placed in adult detention centres, and others facing deportation to Rwanda. Of the 8,766 age dispute cases between the start of 2020 and September 2023, 55% were found to be children, according to the Home Office figures. Okay, so more than 50, up to 55% were claimed they found based on their assessments that they were in fact children. Research for the Helen Bamber Foundation and Humans for Rights found that it was becoming increasingly common for children to arrive with evidence of their age, but for this to either or not be requested or dismissed on arrival. It's a very difficult. We've spoken about children before, guys. It is a very difficult situation for the border force to make that assessment. It is not, and the fact that they have to make it within a few minutes as well is not easy. I'm considered quite, believe it or not, I'm 35 years old, but would you think looking at my face that I would look like a 35-year-old to you? Put that question to you down in the comment section down below, because some people actually think I'm generally a lot younger than I look, but I am actually 35, believe it or not. And just right that, yeah, people can make an easy distinction on someone's age simply based on their appearance. And I think that's really important to take into perspective when we're talking about children's and their ages here. So I do think it's very, and I understand it's a very difficult situation, especially when they only have minutes to make that decision on them. It's not easy. It's not easy. It's a very difficult job, but at the same time as well, for me, the humanity really matters in this. And there are cases where some of these private companies who are running these centres for them are being treated so inhumane, so outrageous, and so disgusting in a whole, simply because they're not British and they're not white. And we need to stop this, guys. I understand this perception that people have is like, we're full, we can't take any more refugees. I get that comment. But that still doesn't mean you have the right to treat them indifferently simply because of your nationality and the colour of your skin. Like I've said, they're human beings just like you and I, and we need to make that point. So what do you guys honestly think about the migrant centres not being suitable? Do you honestly believe that matters? What more can be done? What should be done? What do you think Labour would do if they were in charge of this situation? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Let me know your thoughts. Hit the like button, be greatly appreciated. Share this across social media and hit that bell notification icon so you'll be notified of when I upload another video. And if you want to financially support me, you can do so by joining my YouTube membership for just 99p or joining me on Patreon for extra exclusive content. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope to catch you all very, very soon.